teens, because I've been writing since I was 14.
Okay.
We were doing composed songs at the age of 16. As soon as I was 18, I was able to get into the 18 and over clubs to perform.
Okay.
You know, now 10 years removed, I had to, you know, make a little bit more of a mature adaptation of how my name would be. Because normally, when you're starting in hip hop, you want something rugged, you know, you want something underground. That's how it was in the beginning. And I had to change my name from that rugged type of a name that I had at the time to something that was a little bit more meaning and content to it. And for me, I knew I wanted to start it with something that had to represent the culture and where I was from.
Okay.
You know, being that I'm from Humboldt Park, born and raised, you know, I've been there pretty much all my life.
Okay.
Okay. I currently live there by choice.
Okay.
Because I like to take in the richness of the culture that is there. You know, and the diversity of all different types of ethnicities that actually live in that area.
Okay.
So I wanted to start it with the PR, Puerto Rican,
All right.
Puerto Rican people, the culture, the background, the history.
Okay.
And I went through different things like pride and price and, you know, nice things I could have flipped it with, but I did the ism. I did PRism because PRism has a kind of metaphorical meaning to it. With the acronym PRism, it was Puerto Rican and then the ism. And the ism, you know, the matter, the light, the energy.
Right.
You know, so that's what I decided to go ahead and have as my name as PRism, Puerto Ricanism.
Okay.
That's how that came about. And then of course the prism itself, you know, the rectangular crystal which breaks light into a spectrum. What that would signify, and from that point forward, what that would signify for me, the evolution of my styles, was that from hip hop, it would become hip hop, it would become conscious, you would have commercial, you would have crunk, you would have Chicago bounce, you would have house, you would have reggaeton, all these different genres, and these are all the different things that I provide when you listen to the music that I have.
Okay. Okay. So your music encompasses all of those genres that you just mentioned?
Yeah, it all stems from hip hop. You know.
Okay.
You know, hip hop is that seed of which all the other things grew.
Okay.
Being that I am Latin, you know, ethnicity and origin, it was simple to kind of just bring the Latin flavor, the Latin twist, the language on into the hip hop type of delivery.
Okay.
And then with the popularity of the reggaeton coming in, it was just second nature for me to be able to make that adaptation.
Okay.
So, you know, to move from this genre to that genre was really just second nature. It wasn't that much of a difference. It was just a matter of flipping the languages and then understanding, because when you're writing beats and when you write your own music, specifically I think in hip hop is something that an artist has to do to make sure that, you know, the integrity, the content of what you're saying is specifically from what you've experienced. I think that's huge, okay? And if you don't, you know, it becomes pop. You have somebody else ghostwriting your material. So, you know, to make that adaptation coming from hip hop, transforming, it's just a matter of understanding the different swing so that the cadence of the wordplay that I was providing on the beats was something that fit onto that reggaeton swing, which is essentially a dance hall, reggae type of a vibe.
Okay.
From what was hip hop, which is traditional boom bap.
Right. Now, for those, you touched on it a little bit, for people who may not be familiar, what is reggaeton?
Reggaeton is, you know, to me what it is just lyrically, it's being able to flip lyrics in Spanish in a hip hop delivery. However, when you go to the Caribbean, you have reggaeton, you have that authentic reggaeton where, you know, some of it's melodic, some of it's harmonic, some of it is actually derivative of what, you know as reggae and or dance hall music, okay? Which is dance, have fun, have a great time, you know, mix and mingle, talk to the ladies. All these concepts are all within reggaeton. But it's primarily upbeat, it's party music, it's something to feel good to, and, you know, with that festive type of mentality that people in the tropics have, you know, so, and that's what you have with reggaeton.
And the lyrical content is totally in Spanish?
You know, the content could span over different types of levels and a plethora of different things. But when you have reggaeton artists that are specifically, you know, Latin, so they do speak Spanish primarily. However, we have different artists who come bilingual, such as myself and some of the other people specifically from the island that do bilingual. But however, I'm more fluid in English than I am in Spanish, whereas they're more fluid in Spanish as their first language. English is a second. Okay. So when they bring it in, you can tell the accent on their voice when they try to do the English adaptation.
Now, earlier you mentioned you started writing when you were 16. What was the driving factor behind getting into the music business, and when did you know, okay, this is what I want to do for a career?
Well, I mean, I could take that back. Back when hip hop wasn't as popular here in the Midwest, hip hop was big in the East Coast. Okay, because hip hop, you know, back 31 years ago, hip hop, you know, in the East Coast was coming up. It was becoming what it is today. It was still becoming, you know, in the birthplace of where it was from in the East Coast. Here, in the 80s and 90s, what was very popular was house music, and then we got into hip house music, you know, things like that. And I was exposed to those things. So there was always flowing, you know, over rhythms, but it wasn't the traditional boom bap that you hear. Now we had it, don't get me wrong, but it wasn't highly exposed. And I had family members, ironically enough, who were actually into hip house music. They actually performed. And they brought me in onto it when I was about 14 years old. I was exposed to that, and I appreciated the music, the ability to be able to express myself over those platforms, kind of like, you know, an artist will paint on a canvas. Here's this music, and this paint is your form of expression. The words that we're painting on those beats were our forms of expression. And I found that as a way to kind of, you know, express myself, you know. And with that being said, from the age of 14, I had the opportunity to perform. It was, you know, something real simple where there was a birthday party going on, some friends, and again, I'm a 14-year-old kid. They're like, hey, they got a mic, you should perform. And some of my friends were urging me to do it, and I was a little nervous, butterflies in my stomach, but finally enough, I did do it. And people kind of, you know, when they heard me, they kind of looked over to the side and like, is that? And they were like, oh, and I heard people, you know, kind of roused up and raising their hands and cheering for me, so it gave me the encouragement to continue to do so.
Okay. All right, that's great. Now, with